welcome to the FBTV Weekly Highlights Show there, crammed in around St George's Park for this Capital League 4 match. It's the top of the table clash between St George Willawong and Caboolture. Good crowd on hand, almost 600 or 700 here. It's a crowd that many Premier League clubs would be jealous of. And there's Caboolture coach Nathan Walker just giving out the final instructions to his side prior to kick-off. So the two teams lined up. Stephen Cleary, of course, the big note recruit for Caboolture at the start of the year as David Snape, the referee, gives his final instructions to both captains. So St George Willawong in the red here this evening. Off target and out for a corner kick. So corner to be taken by St George Willawong on that far side. Put in the header on there from Donegal, and the ball is in the back of the net. The goal has been scored by Alexa Krakelius. So in comes the corner. Header on here by Donegal. Caboolture defence unable to clear, and Krakelius there. Johnny on the spot inside the 6-yard box. And he puts his side ahead by 1-0. Free kick here from the home side. Just evades that player there at the byline. Looked like it was Grauvac. So dead ball situation here for Caboolture. And that one skewed wide by Jenkins. St George bringing it back into their attacking territory once more. Here is Perkic. Perkic slides it across the face against St George Willawong, showing intent up front. So in comes down the line. Stevens Robert gives away the free kick. He's going to earn the ire of the referee here. Multiple offences for Dom Stevens Robert. He goes into the notebook. And we're about to have a substitute here, it looks like. In fact, further talking to here from Dom Stevens Robert, who's obviously said something further after he was booked. That's going to be his night done. St George Willawong coaching staff electing to replace him with Dimitri Stojacic. Kataric loses out, but St George Willawong pick up possession again. Up front is Gretschy. He's trying to get around Schumack. Waved away were the potential penalty shouts. Now the counter launched here by the Caboolture side. Coming off his line was Music. He had to be accurate, and he was. And that breaks down that Caboolture attack. And finally some relief here for both sides. St George Willawong caught offside. Now let's take a look at the potential penalty shout. Good decision there from the referee. Clean contact from Mitch Schumack there. Here's Krakelius, just a tug of the shirt. Krakelius keeps it alive and just couldn't get it to stay under the bar. Alexa Krakelius, of course, with previous experience in the Premier League. Goal kick here from Shields, sent long. Kataric. Oh, a bit of a confusion here that allows Cleary almost there the opportunity, but St George Willawong have resolved it. Kataric, and then Cleary was able to get a foot on it before Music could pick it up. Lucky escape there from the home side. Get another ball into the box there for St George Willawong. Scarvo loses out possession there. Cleary steaming ahead. This is Heaney for Cleary, and Stephen Cleary has equalised here for Caboolture with just over 10 minutes remaining. So Sam Heaney wins the ball there against the opposite number 8. It then creates the opportunity here for Cleary, who's unmarked. And from inside the 6-yard box, He tucks it away. St George Willawong 1, Caboolture 1. Heaney, former North Pine player. Plenty of players out there with previous Premier League experience, and free kick picked up just outside the box. Sarah Mia there, who is the St George Willawong defender initially. And yeah, that foot just outside the box. Katarich's tackle there gives away the free kick. Sarah Mia has had something to say, and he's been booked. So Cleary for this free kick here for Caboolture. Plays it along the ground, and once again, from close distance, another opportunity presents itself there for the Snakes. Cleary, and it just couldn't be controlled there. Oh, strong challenge there by Heaney against Stojacic, I should say. He's ended up in the fence. Sam Heaney has been booked. Yeah, push and shove. There's not a lot of room on that far side there between the sideline and the fence. So into second half action, still locked up here in the top of the table. Capital 4 clash. Krakelius looks to have something to say about it. Once again, referee David Snape asked to rule inside the penalty box. He's just going to obstruct us a little. Couldn't quite see the contact there with Krakelius. Clearance sent long by Shields. Stojacic. Played as the call. Free man out there. On the right was Saramaya. Instead it comes now for Perkic. Perkic from distance. What a goal! Mario Perkic. Delight from the home crowd. Well, if you're going to put your side back in front in a top of the table clash, this is the way to do it. Mario Perkic looks up and brilliantly placed there past Jason Shields. St George Willawong have the lead once more. Brought down there, the home crowd getting right into this one now. This time it's Mozaika being called out. Sarah Mayer getting back to his feet. A bit of a laugh there between he and the referee. Heaney goes himself, gets between the two defenders. Heaney now into the box. Tackle comes in from Donegal. And a clean one once again. Well, David Snape, he's had his fair share of decisions to make this evening. And he looks like he's made another good one. So corner in from the right-hand side, cleared off the line. St George valiantly trying to get it away here. They do so in the end. Almost danger and almost an equaliser there for the visitors. Desperate last-ditch clearance off the line. Plenty of bodies down inside the box. Gretschy. Out here for Saramaya. And again, slid just across the face of goal on the hour mark. Stojacic. And he's given away the free kick. So lucky not to pick up a yellow card, or maybe he will be later on. Well, he collected the ball, but he's come in from behind and collected the feet there of Mozaika. There's been calls of cuddle from the Caboolture supporters this evening. David Snape's animated way, but good way of calming things down here this evening. As again, St George Willawong threatened through Gretschy. Swain back there, gets it once more. Swain brought down by Stojacic. And the referee's patience has run out this time. Yep, caught the foot there of Swain as he was coming through, did Dimitri Stojicic. Once again, the referee indicating a number of offences leading to the yellow card. So just under 3 minutes here for Caboolture to get back into this one as Perkic goes down. Heavy strapping there on his left hamstring, and he seems to have succumbed to that injury. So St George Willawong forced into a late substitution as Mario Perkic comes off. Now chat here between referee and assistant as to how we're going to restart play. It'll be a Caboolture throw coming in from Barnett. They've earned themselves a free kick here. So Henderson in. Oh, and again, Music forced into a save on his line. And Zonjic clears away there for St George Willawong. They're looking to move it here on the counter and find the sealer. Scarvo runs out of room. So free kick in here by Henderson. And again, Music. Hands to head there from Cleary. A double save from Dario Music in the St George Willawong goal. 4 minutes of stoppage time. There's been quite a few breaks here in the second half. Oh, and that's a heavy challenge once again. There's no quarter given here. Now a bit of push and shove. St George Willawong players taking exception to Daniel Wordsworth's challenge. Flying up into the air was Zonjic. Lunging challenge from Wordsworth. He then goes on to have a few words to say. Now there's a melee on the far side of the park. Once again, referee and the assistants are in. Looks like one of the Caboolture coaching staff has been asked to leave the park. And a yellow card there to Jason Shields, the Caboolture keeper. So into the 7th minute of stoppage time. Referee just completing his paperwork. In fact, that's it. St George Willawong move back to the top of the Capital 4 ladder. What a match, what an advertisement for Capital 4 football. And St George Willawong victorious, 2-1 over Caboolture.
Tom Carroll, tell us about your junior football.
Well, born in Emerald, played football in Emerald for Emerald Eagles, I think they're called, till about 8 years old. Then moved to Rockhampton. Then played from 9 till 18 with Southside United up in Rocky, and then made the move down to Brisbane and sort of been with the Tigers sort of ever since.
Were you always a keeper?
I fancied myself as a striker, to be fair, growing up. But as soon as like the rep football started, about 11 or 12, my coach sort of said to me like, try out as a goalkeeper, and I sort of got selected. So yeah, I've sort of been goalkeeping ever since. Yeah.
Were you happy with that decision when the coach says, "Hey, forget being a striker, up the backs for you"?
I think Steve will probably tell you I'm always the first to try and bomb on when it's last goal's a winner in cage and whatnot. I do fancy myself as a striker. Once I stop playing like competitively, I think I will make the switch to being back on the field.
Do you prefer the big diving save, the big low one, or a triple save?
Anything to keep the ball out of the back of the net's nice. I mean, obviously it's nice to make the big saves, but I think you more want to work on at training and whatnot, just your regulation saves, because that's usually the ones that come unstuck. If you see a big mistake from a keeper, it's usually something simple, not something across the goal or top corner or whatnot. Yeah.
The changes in recent years to goalkeeping as a position, the keepers are expected now to be able to distribute the ball and be the first player in the line of attack, setting up attacks. Yeah. How's that fit with your game?
It's something that, like, obviously I've had to work on fairly hard. Obviously, growing up in the style where, like, I remember starting playing and you couldn't even have 3 steps or something. You had 3 steps and you had to kick it. Or the goalkeeper was never played out of the back. So since Steve's been the coach here and working with my old man and a couple of other quality coaches, I've sort of worked on that quite a lot. Yeah.
Tell me, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on the football field?
Playing for Caboolture. First game in the first team for him. Big game for him against Lions. Was having a decent game. Then I think it was about 15 minutes ago. A through ball came in, made a decision to go out. Eyes lit up. Went to kick the leather off it and straight up in the air. I think one of their guys just knocked it first time and had to make the mad dash to get back. Didn't get back in time. That was pretty embarrassing, to be fair. I tried. Every keeper doesn't like to make mistakes, but that's just the beauty of the position, I guess.
So let's take you around the leagues after the catch-up round. In the Flight Centre Premier League match, Tom Carroll's Eastern Suburbs defeated UQFC by 2-1. So that lifts East above Albany Creek and Caboolture into 6th spot, but still 4 points off 4th place Mitchelton. So it's still an uphill battle for the Tigers to make the top 4. The club championship table, we know Lions are premiers, we know UQFC and North Pine will be relegated. It's a battle for 2nd spot and it's tight. Just 34 points separate 2nd place Rochdale Rovers from 6th place Albany Creek. Capital League 1, just the one result where Brisbane Knights defeated Centenary Stormers by 3-2. So that not helping Centenary Stormers in their battle to avoid relegation. They'll take on Mount Gravatt this weekend in what shapes up as the match that will decide the second team to go down to Capital 2. No catch-up matches in Capital 2 with Acacia Ridge and Pine Hills to play their catch-up match later in the month. But that could help Acacia Ridge in a battle for promotion, while Pine Hills will need the points, potentially to stave off relegation. Capital League 3, the match that was originally scheduled for Perry Park a couple of months ago, was played out at Barden Latrobe and the home side went down 6-0 to AC Carina. So that result all but confirms AC Carina will be participating in post-season action in 2016. A full round of Capital League 4, Bethania Rams defeated Greenbank by 14-0. North Brisbane were 3-1 winners against Brighton Bulldogs. Sanford Rangers snuck past Logan Metro. Kangaroo Point Rovers were 1-0 winners against Logan City Kings. Springfield and Logan Village played out a 2-2 draw, and as we've just seen, St George Willawong defeated Caboolture. So St George Willawong moved to the top of the table, now a 2-point break over Caboolture. Sanford Rangers in 3rd, while Bethania Rams are in 4th spot. In the Mount Franklin Women's Premier League, Pine Hills did their near neighbours Mitchelton a big favour when they defeated Peninsula Power by 5-1. That result means that Mitchelton will be the 2016 Mount Franklin Women's Premier League champions. Congratulations from Football Brisbane to Mitchelton on achieving that feat. So on FBTV next week, we have the feature game from the Flight Centre Premier League. It's the round 21 clash between Mitchelton and Rochdale Rovers. In the highlight show, Capital 1 action, that relegation battle between Centenary Stormers and Mount Gravatt. There's also Capital 3 match between Toowong and AC Carina, and FC 11 Super Youth League highlights in under 12s and under 13s between Mitchelton and Rochdale Rovers.